Alexis, well, we've got earnings out this morning on Lowe's, and two of our Fox 50 stocks are in the sights of regulators. Joining us now is Karl Eggerss. He's chief trader of Fishberg and Coletta Capital Management and host of Biz Radio. Let's start with this Lowe's here, Karl. Lowe's, 51 cents, they missed. They beat on the top line. It seems inconsequential because the same store sales were down a lot more than expected, and the stock obviously under pressure.
Yeah, I mean, well, look, the bottom line is this is a company tied to the economy, but not only tied to the economy, they're tied to the U.S. economy. And even though we're going through this recovery that I think is going to last several more months and is still not fully priced in stocks, giving stocks, higher value over the next several months, I think that I think investors need to be focusing on companies that have this international exposure, and Lowe's doesn't have that. So not only they're tied to housing, but they're tied strictly to the U.S. economy. So I'd still be avoiding Lowe's and looking for companies that are benefiting from a cyclical upturn in the economy, but have international growth with it.
That's a great point. I haven't heard that one before. Let's shift gears here a little bit and talk about Schwab. They're facing civil fraud charges as early as possibly today from New York State Attorney General in association with the auction rate securities. What do you think is going on here? Because almost every other firm on Wall Street has already settled up with Andrew Cuomo.
I don't know. I mean, this is interesting. But again, as an investor at home looking at this, you say, okay, there's companies like BlackRock, which have bought, Barclays' best unit because Barclays needed to sell that. They didn't want to sell it, but they had to. I want to own those companies that are taking advantage of the situation, or Blackstone, or the CME Group that's going to start getting all these, derivatives traded where people can see them. I don't need to mess around with a company like Schwab that's relying on basically mostly retail investors trading. Volumes are low. And again, just like Lowe's, they have mostly domestic exposure, not international exposure. So, I like the financials right now, but I think owning a basket of them doesn't make as much sense as going in and buying individual ones. Schwab wouldn't be among the ones that I'd be looking at.
All right, Karl, listen, next time we're going to have at least one Fox 50 stock that you won't diss on the show. But thanks a lot. Really appreciate it this morning.
Thank you.
All right, coming up, guys, the one thing you should know. We'll be right back.
These are the stories that impact your world. This is big.
Make it your business to know.
Fox Business. Opportunity, pure and simple.
Reading about Washington these days?